The sirens wail, a blinding flash, then silence, the familiar hum of the refrigerator, gone. Your phone, a useless brick. The power grid, the lifeline of modern society, has just snapped. Panic sets in as you glance at your dwindling pantry. What happens when the grocery store shelves are bare? What happens when you can't rely on anyone but yourself? This is not a scene from a movie. This is the stark reality we, as preppers, prepare for. The world is a fragile place, susceptible to natural disasters, economic collapse, and unforeseen crises. When these events occur, access to food, the most basic human need, can become precarious. But for those who have embraced the prepper way, there is no fear, only resolute preparedness. We understand that self-reliance is not just a hobby, it's an insurance policy for survival, and one of the most crucial skills in our arsenal is the ability to can meat. A skill that can mean the difference between thriving and merely surviving when the grid goes dark. Imagine this. Months into an extended power outage, your neighbors are scavenging for scraps. You, however, calmly descend into your well-stocked pantry. Rows upon rows of gleaming jars filled with protein-rich meat stand ready to nourish you and your loved ones. This is the power of canning meat. Canned meat is not just about food, it's about freedom. Freedom from reliance on a fragile system. Freedom from the panic that grips those who are unprepared. It's about taking control of your destiny and ensuring your family's well-being when the unexpected strikes. Remember the ice storm that crippled the power grid for weeks, or the earthquake that shattered supply chains, leaving store shelves empty? These events are stark reminders that our modern world is built on a foundation of sand. Canning meat is about building your own foundation, a foundation of self-sufficiency and resilience. Before we embark on our journey into the art of canning meat, we must equip ourselves with the proper tools, the instruments of our self-reliance. These are not mere kitchen gadgets, they are the building blocks of our independence. First, we have the pressure canner, a heavy-gauge vessel of stainless steel, the workhorse of our operation. This is not your grandmother's pressure cooker. This is a specialized piece of equipment capable of withstanding the high pressures and temperatures necessary to safely preserve meat. Next, we have our jars, thick-walled glass soldiers standing in formation, ready to be filled with the bounty of our labor. These are not your average pickle jars. These are specifically designed for canning, built to withstand the rigors of the process. And let's not forget the seemingly insignificant yet crucial components: the lids and rings, the jar lifter, the canning funnel, the bubble remover, and the headspace measurer. Each tool plays a vital role in ensuring the safety and longevity of our preserved bounty. Canning Mastery, a step-by-step guide. Now, with our tools at the ready, we delve into the heart of the matter, the canning process itself. This is not a task for the faint of heart. It demands precision, attention to detail, and an unwavering commitment to safety. We begin by carefully selecting our meat, ensuring it is fresh and of the highest quality. We then prepare it according to our chosen recipe, dicing, grinding, or seasoning it as needed. The meat is then packed tightly into our sterilized jars, leaving the precise headspace dictated by our chosen recipe. The jars are then meticulously sealed with lids and rings loaded into the pressure canner and subjected to a carefully controlled bath of intense heat and pressure. This is where the magic happens, where the raw ingredients are transformed into shelf-stable sustenance, ready to nourish us for months or even years to come. But beware, for the path to canning mastery is fraught with potential pitfalls. One misstep, one lapse in judgment can compromise the entire batch, leading to spoilage, illness, or worse. That's why we must be vigilant, adhering strictly to tested recipes and established safety protocols. The taste of survival, putting your skills to the test. The pressure canner hisses, signaling the end of its cycle. Anticipation hangs heavy in the air as we carefully vent the steam, our hearts pounding with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. We've followed the process meticulously, but the true test remains, the taste test. With bated breath, we crack open a jar of our canned meat, the aroma of our labor filling the air. We carefully inspect the contents, ensuring the texture, color, and smell all meet our expectations. Finally, the moment of truth arrives. We take a bite, and a wave of relief washes over us. The meat is tender, flavorful, and perfectly preserved. Our efforts have been successful. We have not only preserved food, but we have preserved peace of mind, knowing that we can provide for ourselves and our loved ones when the world throws its worst at us. Join the movement, the journey continues. Canning meat is just one skill in the prepper's ever-expanding repertoire. It's a journey of continuous learning, of pushing our boundaries and embracing self-reliance in all its forms, from gardening and food preservation to first aid, self-defense and off-grid living. The path to preparedness is paved with knowledge, skills and a healthy dose of determination. So I urge you, dear reader, to take that first step. Embrace the prepper way. Learn the skills our ancestors relied upon for generations. Because when the grid goes dark, it's not about how much money you have in the bank. It's about what you can do with your own two hands. Join the movement. Become self-reliant. The future depends on it. Canning meat is a great way to preserve protein for long-term storage, but it requires careful attention to food safety to prevent contamination and spoilage. Here are 10 detailed do's and don'ts for safe and effective meat canning. Use a pressure canner. Meat is a low-acid food and must be canned using a pressure canner, not a water bath canner. A pressure canner reaches the high temperatures necessary to kill bacteria like Clostridium botulinum, which causes botulism. Use high-quality, fresh meat. Only use fresh, high-quality meat. Avoid meat that has been frozen for a long time, as it may have a poor texture or freezer burn. Trim excess fat and gristle, as fat can interfere with sealing and cause spoilage. Follow approved recipes and processing times. Use only USDA-approved or Bulker-tested recipes. Processing times and pressures vary based on altitude, jar size, and meat type. For example, raw-packed beef in pint jars requires 75 minutes at 11 psi, dial gauge, or 10 psi, weighted gauge, at sea level. Prepare jars and lids properly. Wash jars, lids, and rings in hot, soapy water. Sterilization is not required if processing in a pressure canner, but ensure jars are clean and hot before filling. Always use new lids to ensure a proper seal. Adjust for altitude. If you live above 1,000 feet, increase the pressure to compensate for lower boiling temperatures at higher altitudes. For example, at 3,000 feet, you must process meat at 12 psi, dial gauge, or 15 psi, weighted gauge. Use proper headspace. Leave 1 to 1 1/4 inches of headspace, the empty space between the food and the lid. This allows room for expansion and ensures a proper vacuum seal after cooling. Process the full recommended time. Never cut the processing time short. Undercooked meat can harbor dangerous bacteria. Always follow the correct time for the type of meat and jar size. Let the canner depressurize naturally. After processing, turn off the heat and allow the pressure to drop naturally to 0 before opening the lid. Forcing it open too soon can cause jar breakage or food siphoning. Check seals before storing. After 24 hours of cooling, check that all lids are sealed by pressing the center. A properly sealed lid should not pop back. If a jar didn't seal, refrigerate and use it within a few days or reprocess it within 24 hours. Store in a cool, dark, dry place. Keep canned meat in a cool, 50 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit, dry and dark location. Avoid direct sunlight, which can degrade food quality. Properly canned meat lasts 2 to 5 years or longer if stored correctly. And now for the don'ts. Don't use a water bath canner for meat. Water bath. Canning does not reach high enough temperatures to kill harmful bacteria in meat. Only a pressure canner is safe for canning meat. Don't can meat with excess fat or bones. Fat can prevent a proper seal and lead to spoilage, while bones may interfere with proper packing and heat penetration. Trim fat and use boneless cuts for best results. Don't overfill jars. Overfilling can cause siphoning, liquid loss, and prevent proper sealing. Stick to the recommended 1 to 1 1/4 inch headspace to allow room for expansion. Don't rush the cooling process. Never force cool a pressure canner by running cold water over it or removing the lid too soon. This can cause jar breakage, liquid loss, or improper sealing. Don't use old or damaged lids and jars. Reusing old lids or using chipped, cracked jars can lead to seal failure. Always inspect jars for cracks and use new lids to ensure a tight seal. Don't can cured meats like ham or bacon. Cured meats contain nitrates and preservatives that can interfere with proper heat penetration, leading to unsafe canning. Instead, freeze cured meats for long-term storage. Don't use flour, rice, or thickeners in canned meat. Thickeners like flour, cornstarch, and rice prevent even heat penetration, leading to unsafe canning. If you want a thick sauce or gravy, add it after opening the jar, not before canning. Don't skip venting the pressure canner. Always allow steam to escape for 10 minutes before pressurizing the canner. This removes air pockets and ensures even pressure and temperature distribution. Don't stack jars while cooling. While in storage, jars can be stacked with a board between layers, but during cooling, never stack jars on top of each other. This can cause failed seals due to pressure imbalance. Don't assume meat is safe without checking the seal. Always inspect jars before use. If the lid is bulging, leaking, or smells bad, discard the meat. When in doubt, throw it out. Botulism is odorless and deadly, so never taste questionable food. Following these do's and don'ts will help ensure your canned meat is safe, delicious, and shelf-stable for years. Are you planning to can a specific type of meat? I can give more tailored advice based on what you're preserving. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and stay prepared. Please subscribe, like, and follow.